Test 1 2 1 2. Alright, I think we're ready. Let's get this show on the road. Actually, bear with me 1 more second. Yeah, what is up, sir? I'm just getting everything up and running now. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and start everything here. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, cats and dogs, welcome to the RP show, welcome to the doghouse, whatever you want to call this thing. It's fun and games here, that's all we're here for. Today I am streaming through Persona 5, doing episode 2 for All the Games series. It's a series in which I try to play some random games, whatever I feel like doing. Hopefully when this thing picks up a bit more, I'll start running polls, I'll start running suggestion boxes. People can start suggesting to me games they want to see me play, whether it's something I played before, something I have not touched at all, because I definitely would like to start doing some blind plays, but I am very terrible when it comes to going into new games and trying to actually play them. I'm very bad at keeping the schedule, so I do definitely want to keep this schedule, and I want you guys to join me in this process as I work through games I've never even played. You'd be surprised how many games out there I've not either played enough of or played at all. I mean, a very good example was many years ago when Skyrim got released. I actually barely played Skyrim. I actually owned the game. I owned the HD remaster that just came out just a bit ago as well, but I never actually got maybe more than not even 5% of the way through the game. That's not even maybe like 2 hours of gameplay. That's shocking to some, but I just never really got into it. But as far as tonight's going, we're going to do some Persona 5. I will talk a bit about the story here, so just bear in mind if you plan on playing this game, I will be doing some spoilers here to kind of get you guys caught up to where I'm at story-wise, so you're not as confused as we go through. And the other awesome things, I'm joined here by my buddy Mike. Mike, what's going on? Just chilling. Hear that, guys? He's just chilling. Really? That's all you got? He's just chilling? You're not excited? Just make sure that if you want to pop over to the stream, Mike, just to make sure it's coming over just fine. You're not as low or higher than the sound. I did bump you up a bit in the channel to try to boost your sound a little bit. And as he's doing that, I will start getting this game going. It's been at the menu here. So where we're at in the story, so as you can see over in the top right, I got 10 days until the police get reported, because I have been threatened, so to speak, by Makoto, the president of the student body, to go and sniff out a criminal syndicate, or essentially just the mafia, the Japanese mafia. I gotta go in, I gotta stop this drug trafficking ring by stealing the main dude's heart. So, and now we are in the process of finding out who the main guy is, the main villain. But now it's having me, in the process of doing that, going into Mementos and beating up a minion in order to get some more information. Yeah, no, that'd be kind of gross, but well, not trying to offend anyone here. Actually, no, it's symbolic. What I'm actually stealing his quote unquote, or his or her quote unquote desire. I am supposed to go into a other world that leads me to their quote unquote palace, which is another symbolism thing they got going on in this game, where the palace is like their what's the best way to say this? It's the area of their influence, I guess is the best way to put it. It's like the inside of their brain or inside their soul, and in the middle of that, of their brain or soul, is their quote-unquote desire to do whatever it is they want to do. Like, for example, if we go back to the first case, which was Kamoshida's desire was to treat the school like his castle. Symbolically, it's his castle. The school is his castle, and his desire is to rule, or to, I mean, I know I probably got part of that wrong. It probably not completely to rule. It's a little bit deeper than that. But by stealing his desire, he confessed to his crimes, and he went to prison. It's actually quite interesting how that all played out. He not only tortured his students in the volleyball club, but he in turn sexually harassed, and it's implied that he raped one of the students. Yeah, Japan indeed. I'm not sure how much you know about this game, Mike. You heard of it though? It's really just I won't say standard JRPG, but it definitely plays into some of the tropes that JRPGs have. But what makes this game to me a very strong game is the story itself. It's way better. It touches base into the realistic aspect of real life, not just the realism of life, and it talks a lot about the goings-ons and the issues that Japan is currently experiencing. And Kamoshida being the England universe character that describes the current issues with teachers and abusive teachers in the educational system in Japan. I mean, I don't have any numbers to back that up or anything concrete, but I have been hearing that is a problem in Japan. And really the overall theme of the game is about essentially crappy adults who abuse their authority, abuse their abuse their authority, abuse their position of power, abuse their, whether it's being a teacher, being a mentor, or being a politician, or being some corporate head. It all describes how adults just kind of twist things as they get older into really weird stuff. That's especially true. I mean, do we need to talk about America and its issues? Yeah, it's not just America either. You look at the Middle East, you look at Europe and their problem. Yeah, Russia. Now, if we were to put on a scale, what part of the world has the most severe issues in regards to this? if we were just to base it upon what we hear in the news. Obviously, news isn't the only source for stats, but right, right, yeah, that's true. If I
Hello?
right,
I see.
that's especially true. Um, I mean, if we're talking about abuse of powers, I mean, we initially think on political level. We think Kim Jong Un. We think oh that is especially true. Uh,
Hey.
I still, I now am partially laughing at that. What happened to you? Oh, not from obviously what happened to you is a very bad thing, but what? Not at your misery, sir. But it's definitely the situation itself is. It's too ridiculous not to laugh at. That's pretty much what it is. Uh, but that is the entire world. It's politics. It can be found at any level, whether you're as low as I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody by calling any sort of job or position low, but obviously, at least in America,
Well,
yeah. That's you said it exactly the way I would have wanted to say it. See, I should just hire you to speak for me because clearly you are better in articulating yourself than I am. I should just hire you on completely.
Listen up.
I agree.
I'm on board.
You would be the host and I would just be the player. I would just be the person who plays the game and you be the host that does all the talking. You be my writer. You write all my jokes for me. Quick, another joke.
Alright, I'm gonna
Think
bust
faster.
loose.
I gotta get back on stage here in a second. Quick. Alright, so we're heading into Mementos now. We're gonna take a sniff around for this
Time
Makidani
to work.
guy. So
Let's go,
currently
Joker.
I have 5 players that I'm able to use, including myself. This character Yusuke, you guys didn't really get a chance to see in my last
Do you need
playthrough,
something?
as my last playthrough of this was kind of an off-the-cuff playthrough, and I ended up streaming when there was no action available to do, which was unfortunate. I do apologize for that. But right after that playthrough, I hit the Yusuke arc, and the Madarame arc. The Madarame, Yusuke is an artist, and his mentor Madarame
goes
was
the
the villain of that
rehabilitation?
arc. And essentially what it came down to, spoiler alert, cover your ears if you don't want to hear this, but he had stolen and modified a painting for his own needs in order to become popular, famous, earn tons of money and all that, and then he ended up abusing his students and using their artwork for his own gain, taking credit for their artwork. That includes Yusuke.
You'd like to read the
So-
compendium? You want to register?
So
Are you
what
sure?
that wound up is after
You want to register?
ousted
Are you
and
sure?
revealed Madarame's true heart, and you got him arrested,
Are you sure?
confessing his crimes and then subsequently arrested, Yusuke You go through a little sub arc in that arc where Yusuke is kind of bouncing around from place to place, and then he permanently joins your team, and you are
The inmate
now
needs our guidance.
he is now part of your team. In this arc, the president that I was speaking about before, Makoto, I believe she's the next person to join your team, and you, in the process of working with Makoto on this case, you are talking to another person by the name of Akichi, or Akichi. I'm kind of weird on how the pronunciation there, but he is a kid detective, and if you remember Persona 4, anybody who watches this video, Naoto from Persona 4 is like Akichi. It's just Naoto was female, Akichi is male in this game.
Let's execute them. Gather them.
So that's kind of where we're at.
Fusion.
It could. See, I could have understand snow or lightning if they stuck with like the weather elements and just named every character after weather or after some sort of element like rain. Yet.
Are you finished?
Right. Sid, Barrett,
No
Sid,
slacking
Barrett,
off.
Yuffie, Red 13, aka Nanaki, Tifa, Kate Sith, Cloud, Vincent.
Well then. You got it.
Yeah, it did. It definitely makes it hard for a Western speaker to play the game, and that's why that's why there's localization. And I say that with a grain of salt because I know we'll get tons of people who would say, well, you want to talk localization, look at anime, look at what 4Kids did to all the shows that it got its grubby hands on. Like they took Manta and changed his name to Marty in the Shaman King series.
Oh.
Or Brock was Satoshi in Japanese. What, was that Brock or was that Ash? I think Ash was Satoshi and changed to Ash. Brock was somebody else, but then was changed his name to Brock for the 4Kids. So, I mean, for you and I, it sounds more natural, but Aaron Yeager, well, it fits definitely for the setting of the show, because the setting of the show is definitely Western oriented. I mean, you look at Full Metal Alchemist, which was the same thing, right?
Nice work, team.
All right.
They were too weak.
Oh, I should stop you right there real quick. Spoiler alert, guys. I do apologize. Should have said that before we mentioned that part. If you're not following, if you're watching this and you're anime watcher like we are, if you're following Attack on Titan but not read the manga, probably should shut your ears for a little while. Just follow the gameplay, because I don't believe in the second season of Titan they've explained. Yeah. they mention that? Oh, they did mention that.
I'll buy it. Hey! Give me a break. Wait, what? I am thou. Thou art I.
We all did great, huh? Yeah!
This is
Victory!
French. Wait, what?
All right.
I don't remember that. I might be blanking on some details though. Oh, I don't remember his last name at all. Actually, that's... Yeah, he's the guy who wanted to join the military police initially, but got suckered into joining the scouts because he got kind of pulled in by Aaron and all of his issues.
Couldn't finish it. Joker's down. Come on, you gotta hold on.
Shit!
All right, time for a counterattack.
You're mine.
Yeah,
Joker took one out.
and that goes credit to the creator of the manga. I mean, he
Enemies
really,
remaining. Don't let the guard down.
whether he intentionally did a lot of what he did or researched anything that he did, or if he kind of just came up with some names and looked in just a quick European book and said, oh, this name sounds cool, oh, this name sounds cool, without really researching any of it, we don't know. But, I mean, you gotta give credit where credit's due, and mangaka really
Way to
did
beat it.
a good job
It's a shadow.
making it sound good.
Three of them, but we're the better team. Take this. Impressive.
That was a good point. I didn't even think about the actual meanings of the name
Joker took one out. All right. That hurt.
Wonder
Two enemies remaining.
if there's an actual meaning to Mikasa's name.
Defeated. Skull, give me more.
Wait, say that one more time?
We all did great,
Acronym.
huh?
Yep. Oh, well, there.
Yeah. Victory.
Damn it. Spoilers. I'm not sure if you read the manga, by the way.
All right.
Yes.
Three of them.
Yeah,
but we're the
definitely
better team.
spoilers, guys. But I'll say one more time, spoilers. Mikasa and Levi are actually a part of the same family. I think they were like cousins or something like that. Hence the last name connection there. But they definitely were part, quote unquote, the same clan, I guess you could say.
Zona, go down.
But there's Levi was brought up by a, oh crap, who was he? I want to say he was like a, yeah, something like that. I'm forgetting the guy's name, but Levi eventually fights him in the manga. The guy who raised him, kills him, wins the fight. But it's definitely, I think it was about time that happened, because we've gone through so much Attack on Titan, and finally getting the backstory on Levi was well worth the wait.
All right.
Well, that's that. Now let's hurry on.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or do I hear people whispering?
Then,
Cringeworthy.
oh,
How much of that is translation issues? Because again, it's all localized from Japanese to English. How much of that is just lost in translation?
Yes.
Is we gotta admit, at least in my experience with JRPGs, a lot of it's spiritual. They deal with a lot of spiritual issues, and they're a little bit more direct. It's kind of weird I'm saying that, considering from my understanding, Japanese language is a very indirect language. It's not direct at all, but the issues they deal with in the games, in an overall perspective, seem very direct, like including matters of the heart. If we take Persona 5 for example, they get down to the core of the issue, which is just a person's personality and or wants, which you don't get in Western society when we talk about, oh, a person's evil. Like, take like Star Wars for example. For the longest time, Luke didn't care about, and I don't think he ever really did figure out the reasons why Darth Vader fell to the dark side. All he knew was that Vader was evil, and that's all he cared about. He didn't really get any insight as to the understanding behind it. And I think that's what Japanese and JRPGs care about more, is understanding something and why that thing occurred.
I'll show you.
Right. Yeah, that's true. The result's still the same. Either way, he still fell, and he's still a villain to you. So.
Persona!
Right.
Ravage them! Persona! Get wrecked!
Yeah, I can see how that's true, and it's unfortunate too. At the more, sometimes knowing more. We like to do the saying that knowledge is power, but sometimes having too much knowledge can be hurtful. That's true as well.
Thanks!
I don't know their weakness. Guess we gotta try everything.
Yeah.
Genbu! There!
Right. That's a series I'm probably not going to talk about here, even though, don't get me wrong, I like the series and I like Naruto, but it just brings up too. It's definitely not for everybody, and that series definitely has.
Persona! Ha!
Sorry!
Thank you.
Persona! Go
Right.
now! Persona!
Right.
Scram!
Get it, Skull!
some could say the same about One Piece or Bleach and all those other series. There goes half the fan base out there. Half the potential watchers I could get just probably some One Piece.
Come.
No.
Persona!
No. That's definitely no. That's quite alright. I mean, I don't get One Piece either. Actually, for a while, I read over 100 chapters, many years ago of that thing, and I mean, yeah.
Persona! Ravage them!
It's it's definitely. I have to give Oda credit. He's definitely got something going for him now. It's just the question is, when is he finally going to end it? I mean, when does he feel like he needs to end it? I wonder if. Well, and then.
What was I supposed to do?
And then it finally ended, and then but yet they're keeping the franchise going. Kishimoto said, "Hey, assistant, you want to continue my universe? Well, I will still be creator and overall seer of the universe, but here you go. You can go play around in my universe for a while." Yeah.
Well then.
Right. Right. So, I mean, we compare American RPGs to Japanese RPGs, and there's definitely a clear difference. I mean, we all know this. Anyone who plays RPG can see where the clear differences are between each. I mean, JRPGs at this point is essentially its own quote-unquote genre or the style of game, while American RPGs are clearly its own style of game. But
Right.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
Wait.
I think I wonder if because you were mentioning before, and I did want to touch base into this. You mentioned before how talk about how JRPGs aren't your thing because of the dialogue and kind of the story and its aspects of each story. I'm wondering if that's because of the cultural difference. I mean, I'm sure that's pretty standard for a lot of people. A cultural difference hinders one's enjoyment because of one thing versus another. I mean, obviously there are those. It's no slight against you personally or anybody else who has difficulty getting into a different culture's style or viewpoint or perspective on things, but it is one of those things that there are just some in the Western world who can relate
For real?
or understand that aspect, and others who can't. I mean, it's the fact of life. Hmm. Hmm. Right.
Come on.
Right.
Man.
Hmm.
Do something about it.
No, you won't believe what I
Mhm.
heard. No, you won't believe what I heard. Are you serious?
Do something
Right.
about it.
No, you won't believe what I heard.
Do something about it.
No, you won't believe what I heard.
Yeah. For real? Do something about it.
Right.
No, you won't believe what I heard.
It definitely delivers in that more Western feel because obviously it's a Western-based game. So, it's easier, especially for you and I, to kind of get his thoughts and his feelings. But we're also more.
I'm not interested.
What is this?
What a dumb story.
Is it really true?
In the end. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Hey!
Right. Just a. Mhm. Right.
Whoa.
There's definitely a bit of give and take though there. I mean, but it's all like you're saying. It's centered around people's expectations and standards, and I think that differs from person to person. Like your expectation on how you expect someone to approach you or speak to you is going to be completely different than my look. But I think we can all agree on a general global scale, that we prefer to speak to each other in a more direct, not dancing around the issue type way, because this way we can get to the issue, get to the bottom of it, fix whatever issues there, if any, and be on our way, or have an enjoyable, agreeable time.
Are you mocking me?
Right.
I'm not interested.
Mhm. Right.
That's amazing. It's true.
Okay, so just a little. Let's dive back into the game real quick. So right now in Persona 5, we have moved on from Mementos. So you saw me fight a mini boss. Memento. That's what's great about Mementos is you got mini bosses. They aren't too hard, but not too easy. Um,
Yep.
but they provide a little bit enough of a challenge that it kind of makes you think. As you saw me in the battle cycle between personas, that your main character has the ability, not surprisingly, that you can cycle between multiple personas within the same battle. I used Mikami, which has an ability. It's a light ability that does status effects of a certain type, which are very good ones, like shock, for example, which stun or essentially prevent a player, or it does. I believe it's like a damage over time effects. I
Come on, man.
don't think I really got it applied.
What?
But since we moved on from Mementos, we recovered the old key, we gave it off to the brother, or we're going to. And right after that, I received an email through the in-game phone from the reporter that we were waiting for. The reporter was going to provide us information on where this main criminal boss is that we're supposed to find and get the name for.
Oh man.
Now we're on our way to. We're in Shibuya, which is going to take us on a little quest here, a little adventure, to gather more information on that. And I believe we're meeting up with the reporter at a bar, or we're meeting up with the crime boss. I forget. I kind of cycle through the text a little bit too fast for my own good. The bar should be actually over here.
I can't listen to this.
Here. Yep. Here we go. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. But that was a little mean of me to say. I wasn't paying attention to the option, but I essentially called my buddy useless. Oh, is that the... I called Ryuji useless. I said, you are useless. Because we were trying to enter a bar, and we're underage, obviously. But I'm wearing an outfit that makes me look older.
Hey.
And he's wearing a part of his school uniform. And he was kind of afraid to enter the bar, and I was like, "You're useless."
Oh boy.
He kind of is. I mean, practically, yeah, he's completely useless for the situation. But that's kind of mean to say. Sorry, Ryuji. Well, that's also from person to person too, because I know if I go to my wife and I say you're useless, I know she would be very upset by that. So that's entirely true as well. So it's all.
What a surprise! I thought you were joking, yet here you are.
Just imagining that's a type of situation. That's just too hilarious.
I respect that bravery, so I'll listen
So
to what
this
you have
is
to
the
say.
reporter. Oh yeah, it's the reporter.
What do you want to know?
What I want to know, I want to know the. I really don't know. I don't know what I want to know. Why Shibuya is who controls? I know why Shibuya is dangerous. That's not what we need to know. We need to know who controls Shibuya.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Why
Say
that?
that again. Oh. Please tell me. Oh, yeah. I'm talking to the reporter. Oh, yeah. Well, no, my character doesn't talk at all. I use options to quote-unquote talk. Just be upfront with the reporter.
Well, I do happen to know something about that. I could tell you, but know the Phantom Thieves of Hearts? You know, that case the public has been focused on lately.
I know I mentioned it before in my last video, but I was talking about just kind of myself about the voice acting.
Was pursuing the issue of people
and we
randomly
were,
entering
you
into
and
a
I were
shutdown
just talking a
state.
bit ago about
but I'm lacking
localization
intel.
efforts and stuff like that. And the voice acting, I was playing Persona 4 the other day, Persona 4 Golden on the Vita the other day, and the voice acting in it was great. I mean, I liked it. I mean, some kind of cringe when they listen to hear Chie's voice, but which
That's
is
why I'm
kind of
currently looking
understandable,
for
but
new
I got used
material
to it
to
and I
write
kind of
about.
like it. But playing Persona 5 on English was definitely
So,
a good
do you have any info on these Phantom Thieves?
good thing to do. I think it was a good way I went about doing this because of Persona 5's delay. I'm not sure how many actually know this. Because of Persona 5's delay, they released the Japanese audio track for free. Originally, that wasn't going to be in the English release, which was very interesting.
Something like that.
They released
You're
a
a
couple other
Shujin
things
kid,
as well for
right?
the game, but
I
that was the
remember you
main
wearing their uniform
main
the last time we
thing.
met.
Because of the delay was that. And I was tempted. I was like, should I play this game in Japanese? And
I thought maybe you might
at
have
the
some
selection screen
insider
for that,
knowledge on the Phantom
I was
Thieves
like,
because
should
of it.
I? And then I was like, nah, I shouldn't, because they definitely localized and brought it over, and I think I should kind of support that. Because as much as I'm not a dub hater, I'm not a sub only enthusiast. I'm not any of that. I kind of play and watch stuff.
Their first incident was
Yep.
that of Kamoshida, you know? Ideally, I'd like to get some exclusive coverage from a
That's
student who
definitely
suffered
true. There's
Kamoshida's abuse.
definitely some really bad dubs out there. Let's.
I would love an introduction if you know of someone who fits the bill. After all, it seems like handling this matter in the open would be an inconvenience to us both.
Right. I mean, there's been a lot of bad ones. We can go all the way back to anything for 4 kids, but I mean, if we think about video games and dubbing, I mean, how many bad dubbed video games, whether they're JRPGs or other Japanese games that are not RPGs that come over to the States or into any Western country? I mean, how many of them are actually bad dubbed
A
ones?
student who suffered from abuse.
So I can't really think of anything that jumps right out at me that I said, wow, that was a really bad dub, video game wise.
Oh, what about
So
that
it makes
Mishima guy?
me obviously
seems
think
to be on
about
the
the
side of the
limitations
Phantom
between
Thieves.
video games and anime and the dubbing on both sides. And it makes me curious, is there how much of a difference in the dubbing process is there from a video game to an anime and vice versa? But the other thing I think about specifically Persona 5 is the one thing that did get me, I mentioned it in the previous video, was the pronunciation of some of these Japanese names. Now, of course, I said it before, disclaimer, I do not speak any amount of Japanese. The little bit I know is not enough to be even remotely close to be able to carry on a conversation, period. Not even, I think my Japanese is so bad that I would be laughed at even after I died. They would still be laughing at me. But but I do say I kind of pick up sometimes. It makes me wonder if some of these names are being mispronounced. Akechi and Takamaki. Was it Takamaki? Yeah, Takamaki. Those 2 names in particular. I brought up Takamaki before, now it's Akechi. Is it Akechi? Is it Akechi? I mean, how do you pronounce that name? And what is correct? I could. I mean, that's a good point. I accept your offer. I don't know what
It's
I'm
a
accepting,
deal,
but I'll
then.
do it.
Send me your friend's contact info later.
You'd better be thankful. My
But
quick wit
it
is
just
the only
makes me
reason we're getting this
curious,
far.
like, how many people actually honestly care when you're on purposely picking a dub localized, when you're picking a dub to listen to while you're playing your game, do you honestly care if the pronunciation is perfect or good at least, or at least passable? Or does it really matter if it's screwed up? And because would you be able to tell? Is I guess the point. That's the question.
Now that I think about it, those mental shutdowns and the Phantom Thieves both seem supernatural.
But
Could
how
they be
would
related?
you be able
Or
to
am I just hoping for a
tell?
coincidence?
I mean, without knowing how to speak the word properly yourself.
Oh, sorry. I have a tendency to talk to myself on occasion. Well then.
But when you
Can't
get it,
exactly
okay,
consider
let
this
me
an
ask you
upward
this. So
tangent,
there's a
but-
character, the Takamaki girl. Her first name is On. That's how the dub pronounces it is On, but it's spelled A-N-N. And us in English speakers, we pronounce that Anne. That's Anne Frank. That's Anne. But they're pronouncing it in the English dub On. Now, what my question I asked in my previous video was that a typo that they just added one too many N's and it was supposed to be just a N, or was it actually supposed to be pronounced Ann?
Junya Kaneshiro. I think he's probably the guy you're looking for. Yes! You should check him out further if you're curious. But I'm not responsible for what happens next.
Yep.
Lala-chan, can I get a refill for this kid? We need to make a toast to our...
It'll be a problem if you stay too long. You should leave right after you finish your water. Yes!
Right. So. Is it? Then would it being that it's not neither right or wrong? At that point, is it? Do we harp on and get annoyed at the people being frustrated by that, for being frustrated for no reason, or do we think they still have a legitimate reason to be annoyed? But yeah, that's for certain. Let's not talk about the dancing moves, but I watched that movie not having seen any Avatar: The Last Airbender. I will say that straight out. I still haven't seen any of Avatar at all. None of the TV series, not Legend of Korra, none of that. So where is Ryuji? Where are you? I heard it was Legend of Korra, sequel, or kind of a sequel or spin-off. I don't know. I heard it all was solid, but I guess I just never got around to it. Oh, there he is.
Hey! For real?
Hey,
Did you? They are coming out with a new Avatar, by the way. Last Airbender show that takes place, I think, after Korra. If I know the timeline correct. Um, so that is a thing that I heard about recently that's happening.
All right.
Wait!
Did you ever see, speaking of M. Night Shyamalan, did you ever see his new movie Split? Did you ever actually watch that one?
Dude.
You heard about it though, right? It's essentially a movie about a guy with multiple personalities, and he's got some like, is it 23 personalities in his head? No, it's not. No, it's not, and here's why. It's a twist at the very end of the film. It's M. Night Shyamalan, you can't, but there's many other twists in the film. This is just the final one that he throws in there in the ending credits. There is a pan. It does a pan shot of the guy suffering. No, not the guy suffering from it. Pan shots in a restaurant over to Bruce Willis, and he's looking at the TV screen talking about the guy, about the Beast, and Bruce Willis is acting as his character from the movie Unbreakable. If you saw that.
Whoa.
Unbreakable, the one with Sam Jackson and Bruce Willis. So M. Night Shyamalan tied in the movie Split into the Unbreakable universe, and his next film is going to be a sequel to Unbreakable, in which combines Split and Unbreakable together in a third film. So this is essentially a third act in his 3-act play, with Unbreakable the first act, Split the second act, and then the third act is going to be a combination of the two. That's the final twist, and spoiler alert, but not that no one hasn't figured that out already. It's been all over the internet since the film released. Show them your inner man, Ryuji. I don't know. It's just so funny. This is awesome, though. That's the one thing I give Japan a lot of credit for, which I don't think they get enough credit for it. I don't know how it actually is in real life, and how they address these issues. But here, obviously, here on the Western Front, here specifically in America, we struggle with issues pertaining to racism, to gender equality, to sexual orientation equality, all that with the LGBTQ community, etc., etc. We have all these kind of social issues that we struggle with,
One head
and
back.
it just never, at least as it's portrayed in games, it never really feels like they struggle with those issues. Now, my curiosity is that they don't struggle with those issues because they just completely avoid the issue altogether, and that their LGBTQ communities, their other communities just don't care. I hate to say don't care enough, but don't really, because of the way their culture is, really want to draw attention to it, or it's possible. I'm very curious how they kind of approach those subjects in Japan, because I know Japan's very, from my understanding, is a very reserved culture in a lot of ways. Reserved, indirect. Oh, they definitely have their issues when it comes to racial superiority and racism towards other cultures and other societies, other races. But I mean, as far as I know, being a homosexual is not a race; it's an orientation. And gender identity is not a race; it's a gender thing. That's how we describe these things. Whether someone wants to get mad at me for saying that, fine. But that's obviously how we approach those things, those subjects, is with those mindsets. So Japan's inherent, at least past history with racial superiority complexes and racial actions towards other races, and including their own neighboring countries. I'm talking about Korea, China, Taiwan, Philippines, and all the other neighboring countries. I'm wondering how they approach the LGBT community and the other communities alike. It's a very interesting topic, I think. I don't have enough exposure to how Japan deals with politics and other stuff like that, and conversations like that. It's very interesting, I think. And I bring this up because we just ran into a section of the game in which Ryuji once again is confronted with two individuals who do partake or are clearly involved in the LGBT community and associate by a different gender or at least a different sexual orientation. They do. As you can tell, I'm trying to be very political about my choice of words, as to avoid pissing anybody off, as that's my thing. Totally cute. Ah, sure, why not? She's okay. She's cute. So this Mishima guy, he runs the stupidly called fan site. A fan being spelled P-H-A-N in reference to Phantom. And he's kinda... He is, but he isn't in the group. He doesn't have his own persona. At least not yet. But he does involve himself with the Phantom Thieves. And so he sends in-game text to your character throughout the game, advising you of new information and stuff that he's found out. And stuff like that, so. Yeah, pretty much.
I can't believe you guys ditched me yesterday. I almost entered a world I want nothing to do with.
Oh, Ryuji, so after Ryuji's encounters with the two individuals that we were just speaking about, he says, I almost entered a world I want nothing to do with it. I can't believe you guys ditched me.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Just start it up, Yusuke.
Because my character Morgana, we just up and ditched him in Shibuya, which is funny as hell.
Okay, I entered Kanashiro's name.
I should.
All we need now are the two other
I do
keywords.
remember telling you
What
that
he
I
thinks of as his palace
I
and
played
where
about
he
a
is.
quarter of that game, the first one. I just got to a point where I was like, what am I doing? And then I just stopped playing it.
But we don't have any clues other than people falling victim around
Right.
here. We'll just have to try whatever keywords we can come up with.
Oh, that's gonna be
Right.
impossible. How many build?
I could do
No
that.
complaining.
I mean, I could go in and just get. I wouldn't mind doing that, but I have this thing about doing everything in chronological order. With exception, I did play. Unfortunately, I did play Xenosaga 3 before I played 1 and 2. But I don't think there would be too many people who would blame me for doing that, because Xenosaga 2 is... that game has problems. Xenosaga 1 was okay. But there was an exception to that rule.
If we can figure
I
out
played
what
the
the
Xenosaga
palace
series
is, we
completely out of
may be
order.
able to guess where it is by association.
It's probably somewhere he's got complete control over.
No candidates found. likes money, so what about a money bath? I've seen people online with things like that.
So what I am excited for, and I'll probably do a stream on
No, not even close.
when it releases. Actually, two different streams. Thinking about it, one will be Stormblood for Final Fantasy 14. That releases towards the end of June, and I got my 1 week early access for it. So I'll be on full access to it a week before official launch. So those who want to partake in some adventuring fun with myself and maybe others that might join in on this adventure, that will probably be a couple weeks, like 2 weeks, something like that. I will definitely do a video and a stream on that.
How about it? Can
Other
you...
game is Final Fantasy 12 HD Remaster. That is coming out, was it July something? July 11th? Yeah, I believe
see.
so.
Okay, so he thinks of some...
Yep.
I thought it'd be something less realistic. That's all it is, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Now then,
Yep.
what location?
If we're talking about a place where he keeps his cash, maybe his own hideout?
Oh, that is so messed up, sir. So messed up on so
How
many
about
levels.
a real...
His cognition wouldn't be distorted in that case.
Damn it, we ain't getting anywhere.
This may be difficult to explain, but doesn't it seem we're thinking a little
I
too
bet it was. It
inside
sounded
the
like
box?
it was worth it.
Palaces emanate a passionate madness. It feels as though we're missing that aspect.
Have you been losing at that raid? Because I know when you showed me the last time you guys won at the last second, at that last run you guys did.
The hell are you?
This palace is a bank for someone who extorts money with criminal acts. It's...
But what other ways can we think about it? Oh, could
Right.
it mean a place you withdraw money?
Hold on. Do you think it might have something to do with the victims?
It might have something to do with the victims. Let me think about it for a
He's
second.
taking money from his victims' wallets, right? That means his bank is wherever they are.
That's terrible. But
Oh,
you may just be
oh,
right.
Tonight's your raid night, isn't it? Right. Just as long as your raid
Come
leader's
on.
not yelling
How
in the
many
mic
people do you
again
think
for-
Kanashiro's taking advantage of in all of Shibuya?
Yeah, I'm sure everyone was mad except for the people actually screwing up.
Wait a second.
Did he kick out the people that were screwing up that bad that night?
I have a hit.
Huh? Oh wait, what?
The place that Kaneshiro thinks of as a bank is all of Shibuya.
All of Shibuya is his bank.
What?
Oh, that
Like,
means this
the
dungeon's
entire
gonna be
city?
huge, isn't it?
I see.
That's pretty cool.
That's
in some
certainly
ways,
where
I
his
think.
victims are.
But wait, is it okay for us to go into the palace right out of a crowd like this?
Nobody notices if a piece of trash disappears from a trash can. This ain't any different.
Nobody notices if a piece of trash disappears from a trash can. That's an interesting metaphor there, or
In that
phrase,
case, let's go.
whatever you want to call it. That's very interesting.
Beginning navigation.
What are those?
Walking ATMs. That must be his cognition of people. So this is what Kaneshiro considers a bank.
I never thought it would be the entire district. look around us. The
Well,
distortion is
I'm gonna
affecting
be
the whole
wrapping
of
this
Shibuya.
up here in a minute.
Huh? What do you mean?
Oh, that's right. Even when we were in the castle and the museum, the city outside looked normal.
He sees everyone in Shibuya as his patron.
You should just get an entire raid group of gnomes.
No surprise.
It's best we focus on finding Kanashiro's location
Gnomes and pandas.
stealing his
There you
treasure
go.
as soon as possible.
Yeah, his hideout's gotta be somewhere around here. Let's go look for it.
Alright, give me to a point on this cutscene. Man, that was kind of a long one. Alright,
Okay, let's go.
should be around here somewhere. I don't think I can save it here, so let's go. Oh, stuck to this broken
Hey,
ATM.
Come on, man.
I'm talking to a humanoid ATM machine. That's... Well, I entered, quote-unquote, the Kanashiro's palace, and the people who walk around in the real world are
Perhaps.
looked as in his palace as the ATM machines. So pretty much that's the symbolism here, is that he thinks he can just take... Exactly. No, it's not hard to figure out. I mean, very simple stuff here.
no.
Yeah, but I can't save here until I get through this.
Damn it.
Joker,
Tonight? I'm not sure. Just depends on when I get tired, I suppose. Might be- Hopefully.
Wait,
hey. What do you mean?
Yep.
Hey,
Drop down. Wait, are these people that were...
no.
What? I don't know, they just meant...
Is that it?
Oh, dun 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 dun! That would be an M. Night Shyamalan twist right there. No, he mentioned that these walking ATM machines
Up
were
in the
thrown
air.
from somewhere high.
No wonder we...
I was like,
Kanashiro
well,
doesn't leave any
Kanashiro
tracks,
kill
huh?
him?
Figures it'd be floating.
So,
So
how do
his
we get
palace
up
is
there?
actually up in
Can
the
you turn
air.
into...
No, just a car.
You're useless! Come on! Don't you have some kind of secret gadget or something?
What? So Ryuji calls Morgana useless, even though Morgana already turns into a car for us when we go into Mementos. I don't see Morgana is essentially the mascot of the game. Morgana is a cat. Kind of like in Persona 4 we had Teddy who was a bear. Morgana is a cat, and this one is thus the mascot for the Phantom Thieves. Makes sense. Cats usually symbolize sneakiness, hidden, all that type of stuff.
Shut it! I'm not some robot cat.
Boom! Boom shakalaka!
I mean,
Morgana,
I'm not a
when you
cat
go
at
into
all.
Mementos, Morgana turns into a cat thus. Literally. So think my
This
neighbor
may be
talked
the
about
limit of what we can do today.
That's what you get.
We gotta find
But
a way to get up
Ryuji was
there.
just because we gotta find a way to get up to Kanashiro's palace. palace
let's
is in
think
the
about
air,
it some more
Ryuji
tomorrow,
asks
okay?
if Morgana can turn into a helicopter or something. And Morgana's like, nope, just a bus. And Ryuji turns around and calls Morgana useless for it.
All right.
I mean, come on, Morgana's already
Run
turned
for it.
into a bus for you. What more do you want from a damn cat? What's that? Mhm. Mhm. Right.
Where have you been? Been searching all along, come facing twilight alone without a clue,
Right.
without a sign, without grasping it.
Mhm.
Man.
Real question to be asked. Where have I been? I'm a sharpshooter. I post masquerade.
Huh. So you're pretty quick. At least quicker than before.
For you to draw. I'm a sharpshooter. What else should I be?
Mhm.
Please don't take off my mask. Revealing dawn.
Well then.
Alright, so
I'll just
yeah,
add
it
this.
sounds like I need to know more about WoW. The standard dot.
Moments of calm. Nothing left to be found.
Right.
Here right in front of me. That's where I found an empty glass. Reflecting that
I'll just add this.
Mhm.
it's telling what's
Right.
to be told. I need them back.
Alright, so just real quick, I am going to go ahead and wrap up the stream here. We are at 9 days till the police get reported. I will probably do a stream tomorrow to just finish out this arc so you guys have it. So if you like anything that you saw or like some of the stuff that you listened to, feel free to let us know. Go ahead. I will be uploading this to YouTube as well. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, Aoshi101. So that's AOSHI101. You can also just look up through the search, see all the games or all the Persona 5. You should find it eventually. I also do have an email I created, and as I am too lazy to set up a Twitter at this second for the stream, which I should hopefully get done here over the next couple weeks. I get a Twitter account set up, but the email address is allthegames.arfi@gmail.com. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything you'd like to see on the show, any suggestions you want to make for the show, or things you want to see on the show, feel free to send an email out and just title it whatever you want. I'll take a look. Spam will obviously be ignored. Otherwise than that, go ahead and subscribe to my Twitch channel here, Arfi1011, to get any latest updates and new streaming information on my next stream, and any past videos. And hopefully we will start making this more of a common thing instead of a 2-week break in between. I appreciate you all for joining in. I appreciate all those who may watch this on YouTube. Appreciate it so very much. Thank you, Mike, for joining me on this one tonight, and we will talk to you all next time. Peace out.